Good morning, Aquarius. How are you today? My name is Sherilyn, and I'm here to do your weekly tarot reading. This one is going to be for Monday, July 7th through Thursday, July 10th. Okay, I'll be back on Wednesday with bonus readings to get you through your weekend. That is the whole situation here, I think. There you go. We are going to just pull cards and see what Spirit wants to talk about, and that'll be that. Okay, so here we go. This one is going to be for my Aquariuses. Aquarius, Aquarius, Aquarius. Alrighty. Let's see what we get. Okay, we're starting this one out with the World. Okay. Followed by the Fool. And then I've got the Nine of Swords. So this is your backstory or your recent past going into this reading. Currently, I have you with Temperance. Come on. There you go. The Devil. Sorry. The Devil and the Ten of Wands. Okay. And in the near future, we're looking at the Four of Swords, the Chariot, and the Three of Cups. Okay, bottom of the deck for this one is going to be the Seven of Wands. So the Seven of Wands would tell me that the undercurrent to this entire reading, so the thing that is the fiber holding this whole reading together, has something to do with you feeling incredibly defensive. Okay, now whether that is you defending something like an idea or a decision you've made, or is that you being defensive towards something, I'm unclear on yet, but we'll figure it out. Okay, the card at the center of your read, so from almost every direction it plays into the equation, like the center spot in tic-tac-toe, right, is the Devil. So there's definitely something here about, it can be about addiction, it can be about obsession, it can be about, it's just about some part of your life that you don't necessarily have control over for one reason or another, okay? There's something else that's controlling some aspect of your life, okay? All right, so we'll see how those two play in. We're going to start with the recent past or your backstory and see what we get. So we got the World, the Fool, and the Nine of Swords. So this would tell me that in the recent past, a pretty big, significant cycle in your life came to a close. And once that, when one closes, another one opens, right? And it looks like you were very ready for that cycle to close and quite ready to jump into something else. Maybe that had been a long time coming. I'm not clear. Maybe it was a long time in coming, the closing of this one cycle, so you could jump into something new. With the Nine of Swords on the other side, you may have been excited to get done with something and start something else, but it didn't come without a ton of anxiety. Okay, there was a lot of stress about the unknown or the uncertainty involved in this. There you go. So this is where you were at in the recent past. It's your backstory going into this reading, however this played out. It doesn't necessarily look bad. Normally I tell people we couldn't change it. In your case, I don't see why we'd want to. It doesn't look bad at all. However, there's still got to be something in this line that has to do with this defensiveness. So possibly the one cycle closing out is what rendered you this defensive, sort of an over, or whatever, a defensive persona or something. I'm not sure. We're going to see what else we get, but you're definitely stressed out. So the cycle closes, you take a leap of faith, but you don't do it without stress. There's a lot of stress involved. Okay, from there we go into the current. Currently, I have you with Temperance, the Devil, and the Ten of Wands. Okay, so you're carrying some kind of a heavy burden. That's got to be what the Devil's attached to. So you've got something that you've obviously carried over from the past. So you managed to close a cycle, open a new cycle, or take a leap of faith. You're stressed out, but you've brought some kind of a heavy burden with you. There's something here that you're still hanging on to from the past. Whatever that is seems to be what it is that has you tied to the Devil. So it could be that you're hanging on to some kind of guilt. Could be that you're hanging on to some kind of anger. But you're hanging on to some sort of a negative emotion that you're refusing to let go or lay down. And it's stifling your ability to move forward, is what's happening. With the Seven of Wands, I almost feel like you are trying to defend the stance that you're taking on this. There you go. Temperance would say that it's going to take a great deal of patience to bring about a sense of healing that needs to be here, but you're like not allowing it to come in right now. There's healing that needs to come in and you're not allowing it in. Instead, you're choosing to hold on to something from the past that no longer serves you. And this feels like it's an emotion that you're holding on to, whatever emotion it is. I just know it's negative. I mean, it could be insecurity, I guess, but it feels more like it's anger or hurt, just pain. All right, there you go. What do we got in the near future? I've got Four of Swords, the Chariot, and the Three of Cups. So the Four of Swords is saying that you need time to rest here in the near future. You just need a minute to, excuse me, that was ladylike, just to like to give yourself a minute to unwind. Somehow you need to take a break. Take a break in the near future is what you need. As soon as you can manage to unload this heavy burden and try to get some of the healing started that needs to take place, then all of a sudden the Chariot comes in for forward motion and victory, and then Three of Cups is a reason to celebrate. But you can't get to that until you can get through this, is the issue here. Seven of Wands, what do I have behind that? Eight of Pentacles and the Page of Cups. So the Seven of Wands, like I said, was you being very defensive or trying to defend something. With the Eight of Pentacles, it's something that you are all in on. So there is definitely a very strong sense of loyalty or something to whatever this is that you're defending, even though it no longer serves you, right? With the Page of Cups on the end, it just feels like it's you're not accepting the reality of the situation. There's a reality here that you are closing your eyes to. You don't want to see it. You'd rather live with the fantasy, or you'd rather be almost delusional, right? Kind of. Okay, let me see. I've got the Five of Pentacles, the Seven of Pentacles, and the Eight of Wands. Five of Pentacles would speak to the fact that you feel as though you've been left out in the cold, or that you no longer fit into a situation. Maybe you no longer fit into the situation that you were so heavily invested in. However, it doesn't change the fact that you still have loyalty towards it. Is what I feel like is happening here. With the Seven of Pentacles, you have to decide whether or not you want to continue to invest in whatever this is. And with the Eight of Wands, everything about this whole deal right here is coming at you fast. Like people are trying to push you to make decisions quickly. It's like it needs to happen fast, but it's because you've stalled for so long. That's why you've dragged this out for way longer than it was supposed to be. So now it's kind of like go time. So people are pushing you to be faster than you want to be. Okay, let's do the days of the week. We'll come back if we can. So Monday, I've got Three of Pentacles, Page of Swords. Somebody who has been keeping a very close eye on you wants to collaborate with you. Okay. Tuesday, I've got Five of Wands and the Strength card. You have the strength to make these decisions and to leave behind the things that no longer serve you. You have the inner strength to do whatever it is that you set your mind to do. But right now, you are so filled with inner conflict when it comes to these situations that it's just rendering you stagnant. Wednesday, I have the Tower and the Four of Pentacles. This is you still hanging on. It's like you're hanging on to dear life to whatever this is. And the Tower is falling down around you and you don't care. You're still hanging on. Thursday, I have the King of Swords and the Four of Cups. There's definitely a sense of dissatisfaction here and a need to attack or approach this situation with a ton more logic than what you are currently trying to get through with. It's weird. This is like an overall feeling for this week, though, because you are not the first sign I've had this with. I think Gemini had something similar to this. Scorpio had something similar to this as far as people being very steadfast in whatever decisions they've made or are holding tightly to whatever they've decided to be loyal to. And so you have it, too. So it's kind of a common theme, it seems like, this week for many of the signs. So it's got to be in the planets. I just don't know that much about the planet deal, but I'm going to get better at it. All right, y'all. That is what I got. Let's see. We can get three more, and then we're out. Ace of Wands, Knight of Cups, and the Six of Wands. Ace of Wands would say that there's new inspiration coming towards you. I just don't think it's going to really materialize in your life until you can manage to figure out what it is you need to let go of, right? Knight of Cups would say that you're trying to rush in and save the day on something. And with the Six of Wands, I think you are letting other people's opinions affect you far more than you normally do. What they think of the situation or what they think of your part in a situation. That's not something you normally pay 2 cents worth of attention to, but right now it feels like maybe it's having more of an effect on you than it normally does, okay? Anyways, okay, that's what I have for this week. There you go. No matter what the cards say, go make it the best week you possibly can. I'll be back on Wednesday with bonus readings. I'm here every day with the daily energy check-ins if you want to come by and check those out. They're kind of quick and kind of fun. They're in the morning. That's pretty much the whole deal, you guys. It's going to be okay. It's just, it's a process. There you go. All right. Thanks.